For the most part, Clarissa was quiet this weekend, but she still subliminally tried to send some shots. So let's talk about it. They 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 talk about it. Welcome back to She Could Talk to Podcast. I'm your host, Gangalee. Hey, and that's Gangalee on all streaming platforms. If you want to check out my music, look for the red glasses, look for the locks. You'll tell me if I can rock, okay? Okay. But over here on YouTube, on She Could Talk to Podcast, this is where I react to everything. I react to news, sports, crimes, musicians, politicians, YouTubers, TikTokers. If they're talking about it, I'm talking about it, okay? Okay. We're still in the world of clappoos. Remy came through with the blooka blooka on Friday, and we ain't been the same since, right? We have not been the same since. We've been waiting with bated breath to see if there was going to be a live, if there was going to be some type of back and forth, but it was kind of quiet. Now, I do remember in January when 50 Cent, did what he did. It was later come to our attention that Papoose at that time immediately went into the booth, shot a video, and then around March, so about 3 months later, he then released his reply. Remember that? So maybe they're doing something like that. I said that before. Maybe they're doing something like that. Maybe this was the weekend that they were in the booth, right? But for the most part, it looks like maybe they weren't together, and I will be covering, what they were doing separately, if you will. So right now, what I really wanted to do was kind of focus on what Clarissa was doing, like what it looked like for her, because no one has seen a crash out, right? No one's seen a crash out anywhere. I haven't seen any lives circulating saying that she was, live on any platform, responding or saying anything about it, right? We've seen some memes. We've heard some gospel music. We've seen some hey, I'm busy, I'm focused. I didn't see that trying to look like they're distracted, focusing on in the gym. Excuse me. It's allergy season, guys. But we haven't really seen a response, right? Now, maybe in the interim of all of what she's showing us, maybe she too was in the booth, and it has yet remained to be seen. So, we keep our ears open, and our ears peeled to the ground and our eyes open. You know what I'm saying? But what I did want to do was kind of react to what we did get, because I do feel like she still did subliminally, I'm getting a little tongue-tied here, subliminally respond to us. So I still feel like she did want to answer maybe Remy, if you will, and maybe some of the naysayers and the talkers and, just us out here at large, just watching this whole, Truman Show unravel, if you will. Maybe she's trying to answer some of our comments and opinions, right? So I noticed that, one of the biggest things that has been said by a lot of people is, why does she have endorsements? Why does she not get sponsorships like the other girls? Why is she not getting the big paydays, allegedly, like the other girls, right? And I guess this was her way of saying that she did get sponsorship. So she, of course, pulled out some commercials from when she was going to the Olympics in 2016. Now, what I want to point out about this, however, is I noticed and I remember when Layla Ali did her expose, she mentioned how Clarissa's team would pull out old video footage of her getting signed to her new boxing deal, going to the Olympics, like all those innocent, heartfelt moments of her getting the goal, right? Winning. The innocent, heartfelt image, right? They'll just start running those on repeat on the internet, on social media platforms. They'll just pop up randomly whenever something bad happens. So that kind of cleans up. And it's oh, see, she's just an innocent girl. But she's low-key 31 now. She's 31. She's not 16. She's not 21. You know what I'm saying? She's 31. So why are we running these old videos, right? But that's what she's doing. So I guess the weekend was rough. So she's trying to clean it up hey, guys, look, I get sponsorship. So we're going to start right there with that.
Face look like.
Let's go back a bit.
If the boxing gym is no place for a girl, then what does a girl's place look like?
So did you see that? So that was a commercial from 2016 when she was going to the Olympics, I believe. And it was like a Powerade commercial. So she's like, I get sponsorship. It's still also 10 years old. It's good receipts, but it's still also 10 years old. So this is her looking in the mirror at herself, smiling. But interestingly enough, for a millionaire, and I get it, she has kids in her home and stuff. But what's these scratches on the wall? I don't know if you can see my mouse, but zoom in if you will, if you need to. But she's looking in the mirror right here. Look right next to the mirror at the wall itself. Why does the walls in their home always look like they attack the walls? It was a video I did one time where someone pointed out the closet or the door, excuse me, that she was dancing and doing a live in front of the door, but the door had a punch through it, like somebody punched through the door, and it scratches on the wall here. What's going on over there? But anyway, so this is just her kind of looking cute, and I thought this was interesting. She said, "Me talking about people when I look like this behind the screen." So I don't know if this was a shot to us or if she was just trying to be funny towards herself.
Look at her wig. Motherfucker look like she went that bitch inside out. Oh! Crunchy ass braid she got on her head on her birthday. Ain't that about a bitch? Oh, bitch. Not melted enough. That motherfucker look kind of cold. Put that lace back in the oven. Mm, shit fried like a motherfucker.
I'm out this morning.
And I'd be like, she couldn't be possibly talking about people on the internet. Maybe it was like a joke towards self. What do you guys think, right? Because once again, I say, when people can find stuff like this, you should chill. Who is, like, Crystal? I hope you updated your resume, girl, because what is,
You mean my hair?
she
My
posts
wig
stuff
be
like that
straight. It's
when
actually
stuff
my
like this
natural
is
hair.
floating around.
That's why I have my edges covered up because I ran them out this morning. But you guys aren't used to me wearing my hair out, and
And we remember
I
this
don't
was
really like
shortly
wearing it out that
after.
much either.
Let me pause it real
I
quick.
like it.
Remember, this was shortly after Remy had her hair. I showed this is my natural hair, boom, boom, and everybody, like, oh my God, Remy's hair so long and healthy. I remember that. And then she came out with this wig. It was like that was her natural hair. We're not used to seeing it because that's kind of what Remy said. So crazy. But anyway, she put that video up, and I tell you about the projection, right? This is another
Braided.
classic example of the projection. You know, she talks about people, but, and I'm not being funny, I'm not trying to be disrespectful. It's just like you got to put it into perspective sometime for yourself, right? And hold yourself accountable. Stop projecting, first and foremost, in my opinion, because, like, I think this, I always said that the end result was nice there, but stop the projection. Like right here, she's playing Mrs. I Don't Give a F 2 remix with her and I guess the rapper Bree Biasi, and underneath it, it says no Ozempic, all work. No Ozempic, all work. So she's just swearing up and down. She's going to stick to that. Remy, that's her shot to Remy. No Ozempic. And I will say this, I've seen these celebrities, and I know you have too, where you see the long term effects of Ozempic. And I can honestly say I don't see that effect in Remy. It looks like good eating, happy, and losing weight. You know what I'm saying? And when I say losing weight, it could be the weight of an extra dead weight of a partner with a gambling addiction. I don't know, but when you make certain changes to your lifestyle, it can make you look younger, you know? So, anyway, excuse me, guys. So, she's playing this, her song. I guess that was her attempt at responding to Remy by playing her song, you know? And then, I don't think it's this song or whatever like that, but we know that the bars is not there. The bars are not there. So she's playing that, and then she's saying no Ozempic, all work, insinuating that she's working in the gym. But we already know that that's stress. She's trying to work off the stress, and now she's posing. He already knows. Now she's playing gospel music. Yo, it don't matter if it's weave, braids, whatever. She just refuses to take care of it. Whatever she has in that head top, because she's just gonna take it out and ten- terrorize her natural hair with some other style coming up. But she just doesn't take care of the style itself so it could last. Look at these braids. Like, how long has she had them in? I'm telling you, she just goes to sleep, wake up, go. Probably bathe in the evening, once or twice a week. Let's continue. But this is her, attempt at showing us that she's happy, she's having a good day. And then, she was showing that she's cooking, which was interesting. I don't know what this was. And you just dump everything in the pot. Also, I wanted to pause because I felt like she wanted to let us know that her shoes were on the correct feet this week or this episode. So kudos to Clarissa because she put it looks like the same matching pair and this, for each foot she's wearing the correct shoes on the correct feet. So that was a low-key extra shot there for us. And she's working out. And she's letting you know, like, yo, I'm working out. But that's what I'm saying. It's been pretty quiet, but she's been sending her subliminal shots this week, right? Letting you know, like, hey, this is how I'm going to beat it. This is how I'm beating the charges. I'm going to just show you I'm focusing on boxing and a match. So, but everything that she's doing here, to me, in my opinion, guys, is still performative. Look how she's setting up the camera. And I tell you this, and I will tell you this all the time. This is my opinion of my observations and just in my reactions, right? I don't have a dog in this race. It's no personal, nothing personal. It's just my opinions and reactions. I've said this several times, though. When she's not with Pap, if it's a stressful time, like right now, this weekend, we know because Remy did this, right? So it's a stressful weekend. Pap's not there to just be there because it doesn't even seem like when he's there, he's helpful. Doesn't make any sense. Like he's not confident. I don't know what goes on behind closed doors, but what we see, because she was pretty, on display with it, she postured a lot of it. But when he's not there, I feel like her mind wanders, like between Remy and God knows who else that he's possibly with or what's taking up his time, and she's talking to him. She's sending this stuff out to him to like entice him to come back. In my opinion, I could be wrong, but I feel like look how she looks at the camera. Is that same look she had in the Louis store when she was looking at the camera? Is like she's looking through the phone to Pap. We're not even involved. We're just in the group chat, guys. So look, she's supposed to be stretching, right? But she's looking at the camera. Look, she's gonna do a couple of stretches and then she's gonna look at the camera. Look, you see her? Like everything is performative. Look at her looking at the camera. She's trying to make it seem like she's working and she's busy for us, but she's also, this is for Pap. I don't know why I can't explain it, but that's what I feel. So he's not there, but and look, so it's like you could have honestly did this and we wouldn't even know. We didn't have to know. You know what I'm saying? But of course, she's trying to let us know that she's not bothered by Remy and what Remy dropped this weekend. But she is, because also Pap is not there. So that makes it a little bit more, in my opinion. So it's just more of the same. And then she's continuing to look at the camera. Like she does a couple of stretches and she look at the camera. It's almost like, am I still in frame? Is the camera still on me? Look at the camera. It's just interesting behavior. And then look, and let me tell you like this. Let me ask you all. Did she look stressed in the sauna? Did she look like she had a lot on her mind? I think so. I mean, it's understandable if she did, right? But she said nothing to the camera that entire time. Nothing. Very interesting. But then she comes out into the locker room and she's all smiles to take a picture. There's a lot of posturing. Like, it's like, hey, I want you all to know I'm not bothered. I'm good. But the posturing, the silence in particular, because we know how she is speaking louder than anything she possibly could have said. Right? Maserati Bud, who to me I feel is a non-factor in the situation, right? Yes, he's someone that she messed with, and I always say, like, so what? She's a single young girl. You have the right to mess with whoever you want to mess with. And it shouldn't be him, though. Papoose, right? It should be a guy close to your age. Seemed like Maserati Bud might be. I didn't have a problem with the whole overall. It's just the fact that of the denial of it. Like, why are you denying him and professing your love to a married man? That's so weird, right? But this weekend, his wife spoke and is like, zero dark 30. You're putting up these weird posturing photos and videos like, hey, I'm good, I'm happy. Are you? And it just kind of looks weird to me because now I challenge you all to watch Remy's On the Radar video again. Some of you all might even capture it and compare it and contrast. That's fine. I challenge you all. At the end of the video, Remy does a little belly dance because the beat kind of gives you that inspiration. Am I reaching? Am I reaching?
Nice little work put in today. Yeah.
Is she with people? Or is she by herself? Is she on live? Well, like, so
I ain't
not
gonna lie, I
much,
gotta watch out for those people that take how.
not much going on there. So what I wanted to do was, just look around and see the pulse of her camp, if you will. I don't go too deep, but two people did stand out to me because we do know that she recently took Brianna shopping, right? She's been playing it close to home, hanging out with family more. When she went and bought the Corvette, which I'm going to circle back on that too. But when she bought the Corvette, she had Brianna and the kids with her, her brother with her. So she's been around family a lot lately. So I said, let me see what Brianna is saying this weekend in light of what happened and what's going on with Remy. Because remember when a couple of months ago, Brianna came to her defense, went live and was like, we're jello, boom, 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 and was basically bigging up Papoose and Clarissa, right? And their love. So I just wanted to see, like, was it still the same energy, if you will? Like, is she still like defending her, or like defending her sister, defending Papoose and Clarissa's love? Like, what is she doing? Or is she just quiet? Like, I'm chilling, I'm out of it. Like, I wanted to see what the pulse was over there. So nothing really stood out. And y'all can keep me honest. Nothing really stood out to me that made me say, oh, Brianna's going hard in the paint or anything. But there was two posts that I did see that she posted, and I was like, kind of interesting. I think it kind of fit the weekend, if you will. So this is the first one of two posts from Brianna from this weekend.
You feel? Turn it into the problem. Why is it every time I address something, I become the problem? I be confused. I don't know if people be mad at what I'm saying, or if they just mad because it's the truth.
Shit, whatever you feel like doing, bitch, do it. Because don't nobody give a fuck at the end of the day anyways. And I don't know who need to hear this, but your feelings are valid. Stop letting motherfuckers make you feel like you tripping, or you too emotional, or you too sensitive, or you just going through some shit and they not understanding. No, your feelings are valid. Motherfuckers just don't want to understand because they feel like you don't have to be emotional in life. But no, fuck them, girl. Sit in your shit, feel your shit, be sad in your shit, be happy in your shit. Whatever you feel like doing, bitch, do it. Because don't nobody give a fuck at the end of the day anyways.
So that was interesting. I'm going to pause it right here. The other person that maybe not so much in their camp as of lately, but has been on the radar and up and down my algorithm is Nigeria. Something about Nigeria in this picture, I like it. I don't know. something about this picture. I like it. But let's go back a bit before we get
End of the day,
into it.
anyways.
Let's go back into it. I like that picture, Nigeria. I don't know what it is. What is it about that picture that I like? But anyway, what I do know is, I guess they're still not on one accord per se, her and Nigeria. I do know that she was mentioned in Nigeria in a live earlier this week. I will be circling back on that, guys. Some things, because it came in rapid fire with Remy this weekend, I will be circling back on a few things later on this week. So guys, YouTube, my talkers, I love you. So you already know I got you. But I've been seeing it circle around that they've been beefing, or not really necessarily beefing, but they're not on one accord right now. Because sometimes you can fall out with your friend or your family and then make up, right? So I don't know what the level of beef, if you will, if you want to call it. But I will say, it does look like, if you're going to fit like some pieces or some puzzle pieces together, it does look like perhaps Nigeria has been talking about Clarissa. Now, this post was in her story, and I said, this is interesting in light of what we all believe about Clarissa and Pap's relationship and who is the sugar mama, if you will, in the relationship. So let's look at a story from Nigeria. So she's actually putting up is academics. So Nigeria put up an academics post where it says, I guess they was saying that Cardi B, they was accusing Cardi B of buying her own purses. So like, oh, if Offset was like having money problems and gambling, so maybe Cardi B was buying her own gifts and fronting like Cardi B, like Offset was doing it. And Cardi B was like, never, I'm not that type to do lame-ish like that. There was no money problems when I was regulating. And Offset responded and said, I spent $12 million on her. So they basically supported each other even in a time of indifference, which is interesting, right? That is interesting that Cardi done went and had a whole new baby with a whole new dude before the ink could even dry in the divorce. But the divorce is finalized. 3 kids later and a new baby. Divorce is finalized. She's moved on. And they both were able to amicably respond and support each other in a moment of like people doubting whatever it's looking like. All right, or accusing whatever. She was like, I would never do no lame stuff like that by buying my own gifts. And we never had money problems when I was regulating. And he kind of was like, yeah, I spent $12 million on her. We were good back then. Right? We'll move on to see another day. Now, over that, Nigeria, this is Nigeria's caption. If you see my mouse swirling really quickly, over that. So it says, it's a lot of females that do this. I could never. If I'm the richest one, just buy me what you can and I'll purchase us the real expensive-ish. You know what I'm saying? So in other words, I'll just get me what you can because I know that's from the heart and that's what you felt you wanted me to have. And then when it's time for us to take our trips and do whatever, I got you. We good. You don't got to worry about that until you can do it, right? I get that. However, that was that was a shot across the realm, in my opinion. So I was like, that was interesting. That's interesting that is how, that's the opinion of Nigeria, aka Nye the Goat, aka Clarissa's bestie that was just with her in February doing her hair. Clock it. You remember, guys? And so now she's saying a lot of girls do this, and she would never. In the midst of the accusations that are swirling around Clarissa and Papoose, like the birthday gift, the Valentine's Day gift, the Christmas gift. Pick a gift. Oh, excuse me, we didn't even see a birthday gift. She tried to pull out a Louis when she got home and say he bought her another Louis. And I'm like, okay, that's the only style. I mean, okay. So this is what she was saying. Like, so Cardi B was buying her own bags this whole time, letting y'all think Offset was spoiling her. And that's when she responded and was like, no, I would never do that. Only lames do that. So there you go on that part. So those are, like I said, not much from the camp, if you will, this week. Not much that kind of came down the pipeline. Yeah, we're going to stop right there. Nothing much kind of really came down the pipeline. She tried to hit us with some PR work in the vein of like throwing up old boxing videos and history of her, you know, sponsorships to kind of answer those questions without answering those questions. We've seen she put up baddies with her and Lemmy. We've seen that she did her punch in the bag. Like she's doing subliminal stuff. Now she's in the gym running all weekend. She's unbothered, allegedly. So she's showing us that. So that's what we've seen all weekend. But it's a little too quiet for me. So is something else brewing? Because technically speaking, we all know, like the elephant in the room of who Remy was talking about, but Remy didn't say anyone's name. Technically, just like 50 Cent didn't say anyone's name. So, and it's a rap battle. You wanted 50 Cent to get in the booth. Remy got in the booth. So, are you going to get in the booth, Clarissa, and respond to Remy, or is it too much? Is this too much for you, and you got to bow out? So we'll see what goes on. Like my ear is to the street because it's a little quiet, but that doesn't mean that they're done, if that makes any sense. So, yeah, you all tell me. How did this look to you? Was she trying to paint a more calmer, cleaner image over the weekend? Like, I'm being productive, I'm in the gym, I have things to focus on, right? Because I'm telling you, I've seen it in some of her comments. They were eating her up on Twitter or X, if you will. Also on Instagram. That's kind of where I really seen her active, was Instagram and Twitter over the weekend. And they were kind of eating it up a bit like, hey, you must have heard that verse. Well, how do you feel about the neck verse and the neck work? And, so it was throwing their little comments in there, whatever, towards her. But she wasn't really going hard in the paint. She wasn't windmilling like she normally does. She answered a couple of people that maybe had boxing related comments or whatever, but she didn't see the other Remy comments. She didn't see those. And then to me, that's kind of interesting because then that kind of makes you look like a bully. It makes you look like what everyone says you are, a mean girl. Because when someone challenges the mean girl, maybe a meaner girl, then it's like, you want me to fight her over here this way? I'm going to go this way. That's what happened. It's like, oh, she over there waiting for me to fight? Okay. What y'all say? I'm coming over there. I'm coming over this way. Don't do it now. I remember when she was on Angela Yee, was it? Or was it? I think it was Angela Yee and the Breakfast Club. And she was talking about 50 Cent. And she was like, I just want him to get in the booth. What is he? Is he an actor? Is he a rapper? I just want him to get in the booth and respond. Just get in the booth. Papoose said, that's what we do. I consider myself a lyricist, an MC. They need to get in the booth. Well, Remy did that. Remy got in the booth. Now, it's kind of weird because I never thought that I would see a husband and wife battling each other out on my bingo card for hip hop at all, period. But if we're here, we're here. So I don't know what to expect because how y'all going to do this? Battle back and forth and then pick up the kid on Tuesday? Like, how does that work? Are they going to take the quiet route? Is someone finally stepping in from Clarissa's team, alleged team, stepping in and saying, hey, let's chill and let's focus on other things? But that remains to be seen. So we are all in the trenches still. We're kind of waiting. It's been quiet. It's been like this. Crows, if you will, on that side of the house. So we're going to wait. I'm going to leave it right there. You all join me in the comments. And I'm going to go ahead and hit you with the motto and leave you with the brand. If you like anything I do, tell a friend. If you don't like anything I do, tell a friend. And from my lips to your ears, you know I love you, right? But I need you to love me. So go ahead, hit the like button, hit the subscribe button, turn on your notifications. When you hit that like button, hype me up, guys. Hit the hype button, then share it. Tell a friend, and tell a friend. And also, guys, consider joining the membership because the summertime we're gonna have some things coming up, okay? But until next time, it's your girl Gangali, and it's She Could Talk the Podcast. And I'm out. Peace.
They talk about it. They talk about it. They talk